Hey guys, Mario here. So today I want to talk to you guys about monogamy and the LGBT. It's one of those issues that I guess because I'm LGBT myself, I'm one of the few people who can actually talk about it. And people say, oh, why aren't you talking about monogamy in the heterosexual community? Well, that's not my community. So today I'm going to talk about monogamy and the LGBT. Now, I know that I'm an anomaly. My husband and I are definitely an anomaly when it comes to the LGBT community as a whole. We are monogamous. We are a pair bond. We don't share our bedroom. We don't share our sexual proclivities with other people. Now, we've been excommunicated by the LGBT cult on more than one occasion simply because of this fact. You guys aren't hetero. Why are you trying to lead hetero lives? You don't have the constraint of kids. You guys don't necessarily have to be faithful to one another. My response to that is I love this person enough that I respect them, and I respect myself enough that I only want to give them my body. I don't want to be sharing this with anybody else. And that comes, you can even say it comes as part of my faith. My faith always taught me to respect myself. But even without faith, being sexually promiscuous is fraught with danger. Bryson Gray talks about it with his songs about how you're out there being a thought, but you want to go ahead and then kill your baby. It's the truth. It happens in a heterosexual, but I can't address a heterosexual community. I can only address my community. So my community, when they're sexually active, they just seem to think that, oh, I can take a pill, I'm done. It's over. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to wear a condom. As long as there's a pill that's going to cure me, I don't have to worry about it. And that behavior and that attitude and that mentality is very dangerous for my community. Not to mention the fact that it's so easy for homosexual men and even homosexual women to find somebody and hook up with somebody. Finding a lasting, meaningful relationship is much more difficult. Finding a hookup is as easy as finding your app. You pull up on your Grindr, you find a date, you hook up with them, you tell them where you want to meet, however the case that worked. In the past, guys used to cruise the parks. What would happen is they would drive around, they kind of like make eyes at each other, and before you know it, they're in the cars doing things with each other or in the bathrooms or the park or whatever behind a tree. It got to the point where actually some cities put up signs that says no cruising past a certain hour, specifically catered towards gay men. Now, they often, I don't want to say they don't do that anymore because a lot of them still do, but the signs are still there. So we do have a known history of cruising and trying to find our sexual kicks outside in public because there weren't avenues and vectors in the past. Now there are. Now, the thing that really bothers me about cruising is why? Where does it come from? I have a theory that gays oftentimes become more sexually active later in life. That by that time, they're already adults, most of them. They're hitting that 18, 19, 20, and sometimes 30, 40, 50 mark when they discover their sexuality. This can also be seen with heterosexuals who were in a relationship very, very young and they never left the relationship until they were much older. When they finally are free to discover themselves sexually, they go out there and they do things. They have hookups, they have one-night stands. But the thing is they're adults. So what happens when society says, okay, there's two adults having sex in the bathroom? Do we say something and tell them, get out of there, or do we leave them alone and just kind of walk away? Well, in the gay community, the idea is, well, you're just going to walk away, you're going to leave them be. And this is where my theory comes into effect. Most people discover their sexuality at 15, 16, 14, 13, 12, right in that teenage years, and you have an adult guiding your impulses, telling you, no, you shouldn't be doing that in the bathroom. No, you need to wait until you're in the bedroom. No, really groping each other in the restaurant isn't appropriate, and nobody wants to see that. It doesn't matter if you're heterosexual or homosexual. But as adults, gay men and gay women don't necessarily have to do that. They don't have that, you need to do it this way. They can do it however they want. And then they turn around and they shame society for saying, hey, be a little more decent, be a little more modest. They turn around and say, oh, I don't need to do that. This is what I call the degradation of society. We all need to start speaking up about this because it is dangerous. Simple hookups are dangerous. There's been several homosexual men who've been killed in other countries. And here in America, there was a couple of cases, I think there was one in Michigan, where this guy went on a date with his Grindr, and his Grindr ended up tying him up in the room, and okay, yeah, it's kinky, whatever. Before you know it, the guy's eating his testicles. And nobody wants your testicles eaten, but because there's some sick people out there and they will prey on this LGBT community. That's exactly what's happening with Chechnya and with the UK and in Sweden, you have roving gangs of barbarians using Grindr to lure homosexuals just so that they can assault them, beat them up, and make videos of them crying and basically being demeaned. I, as a homosexual man, promote monogamy because for me, it is the best model for raising a family. I don't have a family, but I can tell you that having two parents in a home is going to be a much more of a benefit than having one. And granted, this is why people stay together, because for the kids, they understand that that tag team is better for, but if it's not for you, it's not for you. If you can do it on your own, do it on your own. But when you fall in love, when you decide to give yourself to somebody else, there's only 24 hours in a day. Why are you going to take away any of those 24 hours to go hook up with someone else? I don't know. But that's just it. I don't know. There's 24 hours in a day, and I'm giving every single 24 hour that I possibly can to my partner. I will see you guys later.